Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be sharing with you the top 5 books that I'd like to read this spring. So I went and looked at my TBR and these are the 5 books that I definitely want to get to over the spring season. One of them is a new release that is coming out at the end of March, which I'm really excited about, and these other ones are ones that I think are just going to be a lot of fun and I can't wait to pick them up. So without further ado, let's get started. So starting out, this is the new release that is coming out, I want to say like March 29th, and it is The Diamond Eye by Kate Quinn. Kate Quinn has become one of my favorite historical fiction authors, and so this is one of my most anticipated books of the year. So because this is an author that is like auto-buy for me, I don't want to know too much about the synopsis of this one. So if you are interested, you can probably go read the synopsis online. But basically I think this is like a Russian spy type thing during World War II. That's kind of all I know about this one, but I am so excited to pick this one up. Kate Quinn is an author that is near and dear to my heart, so I cannot wait for her newest installment and to finally have it in my hands. Next up, this is a book that my boyfriend gave me for Christmas, and I'm really excited to pick this one up actually because I've heard Sunbeam's Jess talk about this series on her channel, so I'm really excited to see what I think about it. And the first book is Titus Grown by Mervyn Peake, and this is the first book in the Gormenghast series. I don't know if it's a trilogy or a series, but I know this is kind of an epic fantasy kind of medieval type thing, or just like atmospheric. So as the novel opens, Titus has just been born as heir to Lord, funny name, he stands to inherit the miles of rambling stone and mortar that form Castle Gormenghast. Inside of Gormenghast, all events are predetermined by complex rituals, the origins of which are lost to time. Titus Grown is one of the most astonishing and fantastic works of modern fiction. So like I said, I've heard really great things about this. I think this one will be interesting, and just even flipping through, it looks like even looks like old school fonts, so that'll be fun. And there's some pictures I noticed, illustrations kind of mixed in, which will make for an interesting reading. But this is kind of just I feel like this one would be a good one to read in October actually, but I want to pick this one up now because like I said, the second book in this series was the one that was on Sunbeam's Jess's top books of 2021. So like I said, I'm very interested. I haven't really read a lot of classic fantasy series that are a little bit older, so I feel like this one will just be a lot of fun just to experience. So this is again another author that I really love, and I haven't read one of her books in a while actually. I was thinking about rereading one of her most famous series, which I think I might do in the summertime, but this is her newest release that I am super excited about, and it is Gilded by Marissa Meyer. This is a fairy tale retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, I'm pretty sure. So it says, long ago cursed by the gods of lies, a miller's daughter has developed a talent for spinning stories that are fantastical and spellbinding and entirely untrue, or so everyone believes. When one of Saralita's outlandish tales draws the attention of the sinister Erkling and his undead hunter, she finds herself swept away into a grim world where ghouls and phantoms prowl the earth and hollowed-eyed ravens track her every move. The king orders Saralita to complete the impossible task of spinning straw into gold or be killed for telling falsehoods. In her desperation, Saralita unwittingly summons a mysterious boy to her aid. He agrees to help her for a price. Soon Saralita realizes that there is more than one secret hidden in the castle walls, including an ancient curse that must be broken if she hopes to end the tyranny of the king and his wild hunt forever. I think this one sounds super interesting, and I think what makes Marissa Meyer stand out with a lot of her fairy tale retellings is not only to make them, unique and different, but also stayed true to the source material. And I think where she also stands out too is the dialogue and just how she is able to portray a character's personality just with between their banter or just their dialogue. I think that makes it really interesting. I think that's where she really stands out as an author, is just how realistic and alive her characters feel. So I think this one will be a lot of fun. Like I said, I haven't read a Marissa Meyer book in a long time, so like I said, cannot wait to pick this one up. Next up, this is a historical fiction that is just sounds super intriguing, and basically it follows these characters after a chance encounter. We follow them several years after that, and I think I'm a sucker for those things. And this is Still Life by Sarah Winman. Again, this one sounds super interesting, but I think from what I gather is that we get kind of their meet cute between an English soldier and a middle-aged art historian who kind of end up crossing paths in Tuscany during World War II during a bombing, and that's how they kind of meet each other. And so in each other, Ulysses and Evelyn find a kindred spirit amidst the rubble of war-torn Italy and set off a course of events that will shape their lives for the next 4 decades. So as Ulysses returns home to London, re-immersing himself in his crew at the Stout and Parrot, a motley mix of pub crawlers and eccentrics, he carries his time in Italy with him. And when an unexpected inheritance brings him back to where it all began, Ulysses knows better than to tempt fate and return to the Tuscan hills. And so I think this one just sounds super interesting. I like seeing how, like, I'm a sucker for things like you meet someone or there's just like this event that takes place and following kind of the after effects of that for, in this case, 4 decades. I think this one sounds super interesting, and I also really like this cover too, so I think this one will be a really unique read. I think I like how it ties in World War II with kind of, eventually kind of going into, 40 years later into the 80s. So I think it'll be interesting to follow this character throughout these 4 decades. And next up, this is one that I can't believe I haven't picked up yet already, but I'm pretty sure it will probably be a favorite probably of the year. I already know. And it is Stain of Terror by Hillary Clinton and Louise Penny. Louise Penny is the author of the Inspector Gamache series, which is my favorite series of all time. And she is good friends with Hillary Clinton, so they created kind of this political thriller novel that, again, I've heard great things about. A lot of you have mentioned in the comments that you've read this and really liked it, so I have high expectations for it. But if Louise Penny's involved, she always meets them and exceeds them, so I'm really excited. But I think this follows this Secretary of State who gets appointed to this position by the president in order to silence his biggest critic. And so this Secretary of State is now left to deal with a country that the previous presidency left in shambles in terms of their diplomatic relationships. So I think like the next thing that happens is that there is like there's a terrorist attack that is either brewing or in the works or is about to happen, and she is kind of left to deal with everything, and it kind of goes from there. I think this one will be really interesting. I think having that Secretary of State perspective from Hillary Clinton will make this very insightful and interesting, and again, between these two, I think it will be a really fun read, and I cannot wait to pick it up. That's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what books you are excited to read in this upcoming spring season and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.